Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rooksgate. Tonight we're playing the Crane Dossiers, which follows the adventures of three investigators working for an organization called the Leverage Agency, which you guys are welcome to change. That was actually Andrew's suggestion, if you want to change that. But all of that to say, the characters have recently been looking for their boss, a fellow by the name of Al Crane, who disappeared recently. In the last episode, they actually discovered Al in a underworld medical facility, comatose, having been in a fairly serious shootout with some people who they believe they know the identities of. So, they discovered that he was looking for a woman named Vicky, who is a lounge singer, and they discovered that she had in fact stolen something from one of her corporate fans. Yeah, is that the best way to describe it? Anyhow, a fellow with an extremely punchable face. That's what we know. Okay, this fella right here.
Every time,
right? So where we pick the game up is now we've also had we've had a character change out. Andrew unfortunately discovered that he does not have time. So although it says Andrew on our template for today, that will be changed by next week. It takes some Photoshop time, a technology that I am not hugely familiar with, so it takes me time to do anything. However, I will get that changed by next week. We are instead joined by Kevin, who will be playing. Go ahead, Kevin.
Good evening, everyone. You want me to do a rundown on my character?
Absolutely.
All right. I will be playing Jordan K. Wiseman. He is, we'll say, freshly out of the military. He used to be a PJ, which is pararescue, basically. He was primarily a pilot. And he's pretty much just gotten back into town. And Al Crane is kind of like an old father figure, so he's here helping out as much as he can because his son and I served together.
Awesome. We are going to say that your characters called Mr. Wiseman because Mr. Wiseman has former military history. Hello to person standing in Michael's background.
Can't you see we're streaming here?
We're going to say that you actually reached out to Jordan because you guys realized that you might need a little bit of help on this one, and it looks like Mr. Cook is not going to be able to return to help you guys out. Okay, so we'll pick it up from there. Have you guys having just placed the call and him arriving on scene, probably dragging with him a certain amount of I don't know what your character's like, so I guess we'll see exactly what that is. Do you guys need a refresher about where you are and how you got there, or are you guys good?
I will.
Yeah. I remember I got hilariously pushed off of a fire escape.
Yes.
Good time.
Okay, so where we pick it up is you guys are at the medical facility where you found Crane.
Right.
He is comatose, having been medically put into a coma in order for him to recover from the significant ballistic damage that he's taken. Okay, so we'll pick it up from there.
I thought we went back to the base to analyze whatever data we had left over that we still hadn't left to analyze.
We can pick it up there as well. It's up to you. Realistically, they're all within the bazaar, which means that they're a hop, skip, and a jump from each other.
I still don't. I'm still not really sure what our next step is. We have this cube. I don't think we still know exactly where the girl is.
Vicky Vale.
Or we do. I think we kind of know that people are looking for her, multiple peoples from different groups, and they may be looking for this cube.
So
Yeah.
your understanding about this cube was something that Vicky stole from Ivan Lunt, but it's also apparent that he probably uh, he did not come by it through legal means.
Do we know who Ivan Lunt works for?
He works for a company called Microtech, which is one of the larger electronics manufacturers in the city.
Um, when we get, let's assume we went back to the office. Do we have like the Google capabilities to see if there's anything on the net about said cube? Do we have contacts who can do the search for that?
So that function would be a function of research. So you would basically go out to the Nexus to look for that information.
Okay.
Okay, you can send your Geist ahead of you in order to do that if your Geist has research skill.
I believe I gave it research skill last time we were talking because.
And so that has a list of contacts in it. That'll have who he contacted last. And it will have probably like a history of locations or some stuff in it as well, depending on how smartphone-like these hailers are.
Okay, so Ivan's after Vicky because Vicky stole.
Ivan's after Vicky because she stole the cube. There's another group after Vicky as well because there were at least two groups of people with guns after her because the one group thought that we were from another group because they had dealt with Crane.
Okay, so we have cube that Vicky has.
Yes, we have the cube that she had, or Crane had it. We have basically got the cube and his hailer into our custody.
No, not true. When you talk to the doctor, Dr. Ryan,
he said we take one thing, we took the hailer.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
we know where the cube is.
Yes.
Yes.
The cube's at the hospital.
Yes.
The medical clinic, yes.
Cube's not lost, but is not accessible to us, but that's probably fine. Seems to be...
Well, if we don't steal it, someone else will.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, it's with Crane.
So, is our next sort of plan of attack to take the hailer and just go through the contacts and just start hitting people?
Basically, yeah. That was my idea was to parse it for as much data as we could find.
Our objective still is just to find the girl. We don't really care about the technology stuff, right?
How much do we know about Vicky? I.e., did anyone talk to people from her work, friends, family?
Yes, we actually went to the place that she used to sing at the most.
It's called the back door.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Backdoor lounge?
The back door lounge, yes.
I mean, when we first started this thing, our main concern was finding Crane, which we did. But as Crane's employees, we are, I think, obligated to continue his whatever he was doing for finding Vicky.
Okay, so I think at this point we face our first junction point as cyberpunk characters. Okay, realistically, you guys were concerned about Crane, who you have now found. He is under medical treatment, and he's in the possession of a piece of technology that probably nearly got him killed. Okay. Realistically, what you set out to do, you have now completed. Any obligation that Crane felt towards Vicky, you don't necessarily feel that same obligation. You might because you respect Crane's opinions, but he was obviously involved in something that almost got him killed, right? So cyberpunk-wise, these noir stories kind of go one of two ways. The characters go, well, good luck, Vicky, and whatever happens, happens. 2, the characters say, well, we have this cube and it's probably worth money, and whatever happens, happens. Or 3, you just kind of put the cube back out onto the street and say, yeah, not our problem. Cyberpunk-wise, I think it's important that as characters, your obligations aren't necessarily, D&D adventurer obligations.
Yeah, we're,
Right.
we're not here to save everyone. We're here to basically save our boss, who's also, pays the rent on the building that we live in.
Now, I guess the question is, does anybody have heroic?
Oh boy. I don't this time.
Yeah, that's a skill.
That's a hindrance.
Uh,
No.
I do.
Right. So at this point, it's time for role playing. You guys have to decide what you think your next step is.
Well,
Uh,
my hindrances are curious and overconfident, so I want to know what the hell's going on, and I think we can solve this.
Well, as per my character's sort of backstory, he can't help but help those people who need help, and so yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
guys, this girl's in trouble. We need to find her. It's
Well,
what Crane would have wanted.
Well, we don't know exactly what Crane would want. Uh,
Hey, I know
just
better than you.
just as a back thing for Crane, seeing as I wasn't here when they first talked to the underground doctors, is his injuries recoverable? Is he like in a coma? Is he?
Yeah. So they're basically it's medically induced because they're currently regrowing his pancreas.
Okay.
You do.
So, how long do they think before he'll be able to talk?
5 to 7 days. They said we can wake him up now, but it's at threat to his life.
No. Okay, that would be good.
So yeah, I guess I wanna go. Can we access his hailer, or is it encrypted or something like that?
You'll need an electronics roll to bypass the security. Sorry, a hacking roll to bypass the security.
That's
I know hacking.
That's
Okay.
your privy. I think our main thing would be to how good is the security here? Like, do we need to worry, or is this kind of like one of those things where only someone of the most extreme level of power would dare kind of send some flunkies down here and hose down the place to get at whatever Crane's got?
It is a underworld. It is an underworld dock shop. So the guy who runs it used to work for Dockwagon. He used to be just like a regular paramedic, an emergency response guy. He was fired from that job, and he set up a basically an underground black market clinic inside of the bazaar. So it is a place very common. There are many of these places around the city. Let's put it that way. Is it secure? Well, they have a heavy door. That's about it.
See, I think the problem is seeing as we don't have control of the box or security for Crane, as much as I hate to say it, helping her is good and all, but our boss is more important. And
Yeah, but no one
if that
but
box,
us know. Oh no, but us knows that it's there. So
yeah, but I mean, Crane is not, shall we say, an unknown entity in this town.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So word's going to get out pretty damn quick where, hey, did you hear about Crane? I hear he's over at blank. It's not going to take, I mean, you don't have to be a genius to put 1 and 1 together to figure out it's 3, right? And, possibly send someone over to, shall we say, acquire maybe the body.
that's
Maybe.
why the sooner we solve this this puzzle, the better.
So I'm just going to say this right now. I think you're going to fit right in, Kevin.
I like the idea of hacking the box and finding out what's in the information. I like the idea of getting all the contacts that we can off his phone, although I think, we shouldn't, but in this circumstance, we don't have a choice because he didn't tell us anything.
I made my hack.
I think let's do the hacking roll. I think it's best to find out as much information as we can before we decide one way or the other, because it could turn out that this box is hot and it's going to be found here, in which case we probably need to take it with us to make sure that Crane stays safe.
Do we know who the guys were that went after you guys?
No, we didn't get a good look or shoot at them because I got hilariously pushed off a fire escape.
So you can fly like an eagle, but you land like a turkey.
I landed on cardboard boxes. It was fine.
Okay. Well, I think that's the next big thing is we got to figure out who's after us, because if they're after Crane, they're going to be after us.
And maybe if we figure out that, we'll figure out who has the girl or where the girl is. Anyways, so I made 2 hacking rolls because
Yes. Okay.
I
So that
can
did you-
re-roll. I think.
Oh, because you have hacker, right? Okay, so you'll notice that on that skill roll, the first roll is a d6, the second roll is a d6 as well. The first roll is actually your skill, and you actually got a 1 on your skill roll, which means that although you were successful, it did come with a consequence. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a moment. So let's start off with you hack easily into Crane's device. He's an old school kind of guy, so he doesn't really spend a lot of time, working with deep encryption or anything like that. After you break into the hailer, however, you recognize that it's not actually his regular hailer, like the one that he carries around all the time. It is, in fact, a burner hailer, and it has very few pieces of information inside of it. There are 3 contacts. They are basically just characters rather than actual names. And also it does have his GPS information showing where he's been in the bazaar or where he had been in the bazaar a couple of days ago before he shot it out and ended up here. It also has some photos of things like, a cube and, as if you kind of get the impression that, and a couple of messages to one of the symbols saying, are you looking for this picture? If you're interested, let's talk. We have your competitor is close, and if you want it soon, you're going to need to talk soon.
Go Crane.
And the response is, we want it, and if you sell it to someone else, it'll cost you your life. Crane did not get a chance to respond to the second message.
We don't actually know that someone has the girl because the CCTV footage showed her running away as Crane sort of took the bullet, so to speak, right?
No, she got black bagged in the alley at the bottom of the fire escape.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
So somebody has her.
And
Yeah.
we didn't recognize those faces.
No, but no.
You didn't. That said, though, you only got the camera footage from the top of the fire escape. They were basically shapes at the bottom.
Wow. Okay.
Would we have any way of finding out like vehicle identification or tracking information in the vehicle, that kind of stuff?
Do you have any contacts in the police department?
I think so. Yeah, my brother-in-law, I think it was.
Okay.
Did you write that down in my thing?
I did. But it's not for me to remember.
What? I have to remember stuff? I quit.
Dude. Yeah, I know, right?
Brother-in-law detective. But we need some sort of ID, like, is there anything from the footage we can pull off to ID the vehicle at all?
No, you'll need to return to the scene to actually do some research to see if you can maybe find another camera that might have recorded that information. Right? All you left the area having just got the apartment information from above the backdoor lounge, right? That's all you knew.
Like, do every futuristic car have like sort of a low jack situation where they're all sort of tracked through GPS sort of thing?
Yeah, but that information is not public.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, if we ask my brother-in-law about vehicle such and such at these coordinates at certain date and time,
Absolutely.
would we even need the CCTV footage? We could just say,
Well, you
This
need
is
to
the
know the
date,
car
this
you're
is
looking
time.
for.
or this is the date, this is the time, here's the location, what's the vehicle, right? I mean, with what the information we have right now, we should be able to give him like said GPS coordinates of where the vehicle was at certain date and time, and if these things are tracked by quote unquote the system, then he
Yeah,
should
but there
be
could
able
have been
to.
hundreds of vehicles throughout the day that passed through that area, right?
Why the magic of computers, can just like ask Google stuff.
Right.
Anyways.
So, but we have to back up a step again. This is the dark future where corporations don't trust one another and they don't trust the government to have their information. So a lot of that coordination, that surveillance society that we live in today, a lot of that's broken down.
Or we don't have access to it.
Yeah. You're pretty sure if you were, a high level corporate stooge, you'd probably have relatively easy access to it. This is not a category into which you fall.
I know a guy who's a semi high level corporate stooge.
Okay, are you prepared to use a favor with him for this?
Absolutely.
All right.
Because also the character art looks sweet for Eve.
Now, unfortunately, when I chose this guy, I had no idea who this guy is. I still don't.
Okay, so it's Charlie Day, and that's I think from oh my god, what was the movie? Pacific Rim. He was the.
That's the second one. He's the one that hooked his brain
He
up
was
to one of the Krakens.
He was a
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
All right.
That's when he's in the lab.
All right, so I guess the question is, do you want to reach out to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so as you can see, I just drew... can you see the card that I just drew?
Yes, two of spades.
Right. All right. You pick up your hailer, you reach into the cell network, and you reach out for Charlie. Not Charlie, for Eve. You get his office, but you don't get him. Okay? So the two of spades is not currently available.
I get his voicemail.
Pretty much, yes. Actually, he'll talk to his assistant, his personal assistant, the Geist, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, there is no response.
So
okay, I leave a message for him, being like, "Hey, this is a representative of Not Real Incorporated. I'm here to talk to you about payment, about an invoice number, blah blah blah. Please call me back."
All right. And now your relationship with him is.
We basically traded information. We worked for not rival, but sort of like,
Okay.
but obliquely related companies, and we're both kind of in the same role.
Okay. So that said, you know that a favor in exchange to him will be information for information.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So perhaps information on whatever this cube is?
What cube? I never mentioned the cube.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough.
So, have we sort of determined that going via the police, my police contacts is not
So what I'm okay. So let me rephrase that. It's not that going to your contacts will not be valid. It's that you're going to need to do some more research before Harkness is going to be able to track what you want him to track. He does not have the.
Check on that one.
Yeah, sure.
If Cam is calling and dealing with his, and Mike's going to the station to deal with his, can I go and work the streets? I mean, this is in I'm assuming it's not the worst part of town.
Yeah, so you guys are in the area called the Bazaar.
And this is where this happened, was in the Bazaar?
That's correct, yes.
So if I was to, my intention would be to say, go and talk to homeless guys. If I've been living here for a while, you know who the guys are.
Absolutely.
Right? So you know the guys that are always parked out, and I mean, a coffee here, a couple bucks there, a hot sandwich. It's
Okay.
amazing what people can see, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so this is First off, you have never heard the description of the bazaar, so I'll read it to you. It is an interface zone between the corp and the surf culture and the waste. So a collection of coffee bars, junk dealers, drug dens, brothels and bars, cult hangouts, and nightclubs. Large populations of waste wait for their chance to spend some corporate money or surf money in exchange for whatever those people want. So that is the bazaar. That process that you're after is something called networking. And there are basically two ways to network. Way number one is you can do it the friendly way, which uses persuasion. Or way number two is you can actually sort of work the street and lean on people, and that uses intimidation. How does Jordan do his networking?
He's more of a face man. He's more of a. I don't believe in having to do the intimidate thing unless it's an absolute no choice.
Awesome, sounds good. So it sounds like you're making.
Honey will get you further.
All right, and it sounds like you're going to attempt to dole some money out as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong here. I'm not talking like huge amounts. I'm like, like I said, coffee here, sandwich there, just kind of working the streets. Hey guys, have you seen anything?
All right,
buy coffee.
And specifically, what information are you after?
More of, hey guys, at such and such a time, did you happen to see van, vehicle, guys dressed like this, broad with bag?
If you are looking to, if you want to, like giving out a little bit here and there, there's no wealth roll necessary. If you do want to spend enough money to actually get a bonus to your dice, then what happens is you have to roll both a wealth roll and a persuasion roll. Does that make sense?
I would be willing to do that if, say, someone had some kind of information that kind of matched with what I'm not telling them. So it sounds like they do know something, opposed to someone just trying to get a free coffee or a meal.
Okay. So it sounds like you're not spending a lot of money getting this information.
No, not initially.
Okay,
but if
go ahead.
There's someone there to butter up.
Go ahead and make your persuasion roll.
All right, persuasion is D6, and I have streetwise.
Okay, so streetwise will give you +2. It'll net you +2 to this roll.
Okay, so D8, D6. Sorry.
No, yeah. So you just roll D6 and add 2, whatever the roll is. So 11 + 2 is 13.
Decent.
That's pretty decent. So that's going to net you 3 pieces of information. So we'll just figure out what those are exactly. I actually draw cards when we do things like this, and it kind of tells you the nature of the information that you're able to find. Okay? Okay, so you are policing the area, basically. You're sort of patrolling or looking in the area around where this girl was abducted. Is that the idea?
Within a couple blocks. I mean, anything past that, the odds are pretty slim.
Yeah, no problem at all. So this area, there's always a certain number of people who work here. There's also food carts everywhere. And these people know enough to say nothing to most people. Okay? However, you have a way about you, which is your streetwise, obviously. And in interrogating them, not interrogating, but in asking them questions and, standing underneath the tarps, with the rain pounding down and talking to them, you're able to discover a few things. First off, there are a number of people who actually saw this girl being picked up off the street. At the time, they thought she was maybe, a drug addict or something along that line who was being picked up by, or whatever, or that she was some sort of corporate daughter, who was out playing around and her father sent some men to black bag her home. Okay.
Gotcha.
However, when you provide them with a little more information, they're able to provide you with details. What I like to know is, at this point, I'm going to allow you to ask me 2 questions. You found what you're after, some people who've seen the incident. You ask me 2 questions, and I'll give you answers to those 2 questions.
First, I guess a license plate, but do we still use license plates in this?
No, it'll be all like barcode and stuff like that.
Okay, so could you?
Okay, so you're looking for identity of the vehicle that they disappeared in?
That's I mean,
All right. Okay, so you're talking to a guy.
A,
Okay, so you're talking to a guy at a food cart. He actually has a security camera that he runs because he gets robbed all the time, and he basically does it so that he can give it to the police and have them ignore him again. So he does actually get a grainy picture of this girl being carried away by two goons and basically thrown into the back of a hover van, which then powers up and glides away. Looking at the vehicle itself, you recognize it to be, with your streetwise, you recognize it to be sort of a throwaway vehicle. You think it's probably stolen, but you do get the identity tags off of it.
Okay. Van ID tags, cool.
Okay.
What's his name, by the way?
Francisco.
Francisco.
Francisco Yu.
No, Francisco, you.
No, Francisco Yu.
So I ask him, I'm like, so what do you drink?
We'll say he drinks mezcal flavored tequila.
Best kind.
Yes.
All right. I thank him immensely.
Okay. So you get one more question.
Okay, so I have the ID tag.
Yep. So what happens is the cards tell me how major a piece of information you have. That last question cost you 2 of those 3 cards. So this last card is going to be some other minor detail that you might be able to pick up.
Any distinguishing features of the people that grabbed her?
Yeah, one of the guys actually walked with a fairly pronounced limp. Whether it was because he had taken damage recently, or if it was something that Francisco doesn't know, but yeah, he was definitely hobbling on his way to the car.
He got kicked in the birds.
Maybe.
So I will call up. What is Mike's character name?
So we're going to back up a step here. So that's actually taking you a little while to actually canvass the area. You guys have put out a call to your contact, Cam. That took you half an hour. Okay. So what we do now is we kind of go back. He says, listen, I'll hit the street and see if I can find anything. So he's a little bit ahead in time. What do you guys do?
Okay, I'm going to try and go back to where we actually saw, outside the apartment.
Okay.
Where the fire escape was, see if any of them left anything behind there in their haste to get out of there.
Okay, so it sounds like a notice check to look for clues.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, do you have investigator?
I don't have investigator.
I think
Michael?
we're all basically in the same area. Kevin's out and about in the street in the area. Cam's in the area of the apartment.
Yep.
I mean, if I know that whatever Kevin's character's name is, Jordan is canvassing the street, and Cam's investigating the physical apartment. I think I would probably help out Cam in the area, in the same area, because of my previous.
Okay.
I mean, we were there for a while, but I think we left somewhat in a hurry.
Well, you did, because there were other people, chasing you out of the area.
Yeah.
Right. If you recall, so let's back up a step. You went to the apartment, which is obviously her normal crash pad. The place had been torn apart by somebody who was completely unprofessional. Do you remember this discussion?
Yes.
This was above the back door.
That's correct.
Maybe. Well, what do I have for investigate? What was this you were asking him if he had?
Notice.
Notice.
You don't have notice?
No, I do have notice. I don't have investigator, so I don't get bonuses.
Right.
D8 plus 2 for notice.
Right, but you're already out doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's a D4 plus 2.
Oh, so you have alertness as well. All right. So
Alert.
who's the primary? Who's helping?
Um,
I'll be the primary since I started this, I guess.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your help roll.
but aren't I supposed to? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I'm helping.
Oh,
Let me help.
Um,
I'm a big
Oh
help.
boy.
I step in something.
How about that botch, eh? Okay.
Wow, that's an epic fail.
Okay. Your turn to see how much he helps you.
I see someone going off the top of the banister again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to push you back out the window.
Why did I? Fine. Apparently, it wanted to click twice. I need maybe a new mouse. But they rolled basically the same thing each time. I got a 5.
5. All right. So you guys head back to the area. As you, yeah,
Fire alarm.
yeah, you are.
So remember that satchel situation we were talking about?
Yeah, no. This is
Good
not
thing you
bad.
didn't see that landmine there.
Right. So you guys are
Oh.
you guys are checking out the fire escape, wondering how you can get back up because of course it's secured. And Cam, you've just gone around a corner, and Shepard is sort of tracking it down and remembering how much he hated street work as he was a cop. Man, this is the worst part of the job. I remember there were days when, hey, you looking for something? You hear a voice behind you.
Oh boy.
All right, who's Shepard?
So it's Shepard that hears the voice or me?
Yes, no, Shepard.
I turn around. Who is it?
Standing behind you are a pair of gentlemen who, in your focus to hate what you are doing, the sound of the street noise basically overrode their approach. One of the fellows sort of stands looking up and down the alley, maybe looking for your partner. The other fellow stands directly in front of you. He's wearing basically a long coat. You recognize it as an armored trench coat, so it actually has plates in it. And leveled around your gut is a heavy automatic pistol.
And I'm standing in the alleyway.
Yeah, you are at the bottom of the fire escape.
What did he ask me again?
Hey, what you looking for?
I said, just doing a local inspection of fire code safety. Nothing to worry about, gentlemen.
All right, nothing to see here. Yeah, so the other guy, he begins sort of circling around behind you, separating themselves. Okay.
Jedi.
Have they blocked my exit of the?
If you wanted to run deeper into the alley, back towards the back door entrance, you could go that way. But towards the street, there is no escape. Well, you'd have to run by them.
Where is Cameron during all this?
Cameron's wandered off investigating a different area.
Was it? Sorry, Nate. I think.
Nate, yeah, Nate's wandered off looking for something else.
Like-
For your new character, you might want to.
No, but
So as you're standing there, he says, "Hey, have you seen this?" And he tosses you a plastic square.
okay, I grab it.
Okay, so you kind of snag it out of the air. As you do so, you recognize it as a cheap video player, and the video that's playing on it is two guys breaking into an apartment and searching it.
Is it me?
Yeah, and Nate. Where's the girl?
I say, I don't know who these people are. This is obviously a fake.
Okay, you go ahead and make a persuasion roll not to get shot.
Persuasion D6.
Are you charismatic?
I don't think so.
I am. He doesn't sound to be.
So that's a 2. All right.
So
Okay,
there's these things called bennies.
Okay, I'll
And
Benny.
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life.
How do I drag this Benny out?
Yeah, so what you do is you just click on the Benny.
The one above your character name or your.
I'm
And
going
that-
to tell you to stop lying because you're not good at it.
Okay. So yeah, so you just click on that Benny and then just drag one of those onto the tabletop.
Not working. Oh, Houston, we have a problem.
Well, I guess no Bennies for you until you figure it out.
Well, you click on the gold thing, and then
There you go.
click and hold on it, and then you just drag and drop.
There you go. Perfect.
Aha.
Okay, re-roll, please.
Automatic success.
Yeah, no. All right.
I just want him to be off his guard long enough for me to take off.
Okay, so sort of a wry smile crosses his face, and I'm just going to make a quick roll here.
Mike, I think you need to start investing heavily in flashbangs and earplugs.
What just happened? Okay, I got a couple extra D4s in there for some reason. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. So, what's your parry?
So is that the one on his skill die?
No, that's the wild die. Oh no, it is. No, yeah,
How
it
do you-
is. Look at that.
Yeah.
How do you
the
figure
D8.
out parry?
Sorry, say again.
How do you figure out parry?
2 plus half fighting.
Parry's 4.
All right. Yeah. So he lays one into the side of you.
Oh,
Ugh.
ow.
Suck it up, Buttercup. You're a man. You can take a shot. You're a cop, for Christ's sakes. You can take a punch.
Okay. So with his brass knuckles, that'll do a total of 7. What's your toughness?
Oh, nice knuckles.
7.
7's that's your toughness?
It says 7 and then quotes it as 2.
All right. So 2 for
That's
armor.
your
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So fair enough. So yeah, his blow comes hits you sort of midriff, and as it does so, it definitely shakes you. Okay, so this is the classic noir scene where the detective is beat up by the goons. Yeah, so it's like, oh, how's your memory now? Do you want to look at it again? It sits on the ground where you dropped it.
So I'm sort of grasping my side and
Yeah.
catching my breath.
Yeah, so
Can
the
I
other,
make,
so the one guy has
notice-
the gun on you. The other guy moved around to the side and he pummeled you.
Okay, I'll be like, well, now that you do mention it, it does look kind of familiar.
Now, can I make like a notice check to see if I can figure out what's going on here?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
We're working through a botch here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these are bad.
So, where's the girl? And more importantly, where's the cube?
Don't lie. Don't
The
lie.
girl was gone when we got there, and I don't know what you're talking about as far as the cube goes.
Persuade.
You got this.
Yes.
Nice.
Ah.
Okay, yep, that's good. Yeah, so one of them, the one guy kind of looks at the other guy. If you're not looking for the cube, then why are you looking for the girl?
Her mom's asked us to look for her.
Okay, so now although Al's girlfriend goes by the name Mother, she's not actually her mom, right?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the story I'm giving her.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna let your roll ride, and the other fellow he picks up he kind of grabs you by the elbow and sort of stands you up, kind of dusts off your jacket, and he says, "Hey, You never want to get between a mother and their child, right? Listen,
Sure.
our 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 boss, he'd be interested if you found that cube or if you found Vicky, and he slides you an electronic card.
So he said the cube or Vicky?
Yes,
He said the cube and then corrected himself.
yes.
Okay. That wasn't just you correcting yourself. Okay.
Okay.
So he gave me the contact information,
Yeah,
and does this card have like a name and stuff on it?
Jonas Archer.
Right.
Oh, now he remembers.
Okay. I said.
Don't be a
Well,
stranger. Reach out. I'm sure
said,
we can make it mutually beneficial for everybody. No one needs to get hurt.
I said I will certainly do so. You are a fine, upstanding gentleman, and I will let you know.
He retrieves the recording device. What I'm going to say, though, is they loiter enough that you do not feel comfortable going back about your investigation.
Yeah, I go back at that. I'll leave the.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
alleyway.
Nate runs around. Nate comes around the corner saying, "I've been trying to get you on your hailer." Like, oh, hey.
Where are you?
It's like, oh, hey, I was going to talk to you about the recent updates to the fire code.
Yeah. All right. So with the 5, unfortunately, Cam, there's nothing obvious out here. It's a public space. It's been raining. It was a couple of days ago. There's nothing to see here. Okay.
So be it.
You guys rendezvous at your Ursat's Cafe, neutral grounds, and
Oh my god.
what? That's a great name for a coffee shop.
What's the coffee shop?
Neutral grounds.
Neutral grounds.
Wah, wah.
Okay.
If they serve Romulans, I'm done.
Yeah. All right. So you over a cup of fake coffee, basically exchange information.
Soy.
Actually, I give the ID tag and stuff like that to Robert,
Okay.
which is Mike.
Yep. I know who Robert is.
I'm just making sure.
Yep. No worries.
And
Okay.
Nathaniel's Cam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
So I got
Nate
it.
for short.
Nate. Okay. So yeah, I give him the information that I found and the little tidbits,
Okay.
and then I'm like, "What's wrong with your face? Look kind of pained."
All right. Any response to that, Shepard?
I just grumble.
All right. So you have the information. Do you reach out to your contact?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So Harkness is relatively low ranking, meaning that he's relatively easily available. When you reach out, he's finishing up his shift, and the phone rings. It rings quite a while, or the connection looks like it's connecting for quite a while, and then his face comes up, and he's like, "What?"
It's important if I have to contact you, man.
This is your brother-in-law,
Yeah.
current or ex?
Well, what do you mean X?
Is it your sister's husband or is it your ex-wife's husband or ex-wife's brother?
It's my late wife's brother.
She's
Right.
dead.
Yeah.
Or she's way overdue, one of the two.
I say, I need a favor.
I kind of figure that's why you're calling. Listen, I'm off shift in 10 minutes. What do you want? Make it quick.
Can you look up the this vehicle and track it for and I gave him the time limits of, when it was.
Okay,
it
so you
should have
see
been
him. He's looking at the camera and he's like, kind of looks over his shoulder, and you can hear him manipulating his computer. Yeah, it was reported stolen 3 days ago. I've got a tracker tag on it though that came live like 4 hours ago. Vehicle recoveries, it's in their queue, but they probably won't get to it for the next at least 24 to 36 hours. Let me send you the location.
Appreciate it, man.
Okay, and that's pretty much your conversation with him. He doesn't whinge on saying goodbye or anything like that. Let me send you the location, and then gray screen.
I love you too, man.
Like, is this okay? So, are the phone calls in our head, or is it literally like a phone?
It is the hailer's literally a phone.
Okay, so we heard this.
Yes, absolutely.
What'd you do to piss him off?
Family, man. Family.
You might want to butter him up next time.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put. So for Harkness, I'm just going to put debt, and we'll just put 1. Okay. So he is your. Your relationship with him is not negative. It's very business-like. It's probably the best way to describe it.
Sounds kind of standoffish.
He is, but that's how he was described as a character. So, okay. So what do you do? Oh yeah, right. So you have the location. The location is actually right here in Bazaar. You would guess maybe 4 or 5 blocks from where you're standing.
I think we want to go there before the car gets taken and,
Pitter patter skedatter. Let's get
at
in and
least
get
check
at her.
it out.
Okay.
Does the contact info from the card you got from Archer's guys, does it match up to any of the numbers in Crane's phone or Crane's hailer?
I'm sorry. I thought you were asking somebody else. So can you ask that question again, please? Like, oh wait, I'm the GM.
So the shepherd got a card from Archer's guys.
Yes.
We have Crane's hailer.
Yes,
with
he
some
matches the
contact-
asterisks.
Aha! So that's the one that sent that said, "Hey, don't sell it to someone else or you'll die."
Yes.
Great. That's a piece of information that's good to have.
So we need to get those guys back and get some information out of them.
Yeah. I'll bring the
Fist that
the phone book.
Yeah. Who has the baton? Okay.
We're going to be going back for that.
We left the baton
Damn
use
it!
use it as a doorstop.
All right. Okay, so you arrive at the place where the vehicle's parked. It is underneath one of the many multi-level highways that pass through the bazaar. Right now, there's like a tent city underneath these places. So, but not temporary tents. These are actual corrugated steel boxes and old shipping crates, etc. Sure enough,
Great drop-off point with no cameras and visibility and stuff like that.
you got it.
All right, I'm going to work the crowd.
Yeah.
You guys deal with the van.
It doesn't take you. I'm just going to skip ahead. It doesn't take you that long, maybe 5 minutes, and the guys tell you that sure enough, the same day that Vicky was picked up, the vehicle was picked here, and they basically pulled somebody out of the vehicle and put her into the back of the van and drove off. The van was marked with the car. How do I do this? The car was a Kusaya corporate car. It had actually markings on it.
That's the name of the corporation.
That is the name of a corporation, yes. A relatively minor one.
I only know major. Go big or go home.
Okay,
Kusaya
so-
is actually, it's your guys, a very brief research from any of your guys would tell you that Kusaya is actually a subsidiary of Nashan Diversified.
Mhm.
Biotech, light manufacturing and vehicle. That's diversity.
So, I guess that gives us an idea of who took her.
Well, we also know that they're probably the ones that probably took a round out of Crane. That's an assumption out loud.
Well, we don't know that because they could have been the other guys.
Give me the cube or die. That's kind of blatant, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's the guys that we were just dealing with that in the alley.
But those are different guys,
Those are different guys.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
so
those
so
are
what
the
I'm going to do
guys.
is at this point you guys are investigators. You put your thoughts together, and you guys can go ahead and make a smarts roll to sort of put together the clues that you have so far for deduction. So go ahead and make smarts.
Okay, that's just rolling against the whatever you have as a smart stat.
You got it.
D8.
Smart. Oh, damn it, he's smarter.
All right, so you guys sort of knock heads. It's like, who the fuck are these guys? Okay, so you kind of look over everything that's happened. So Vicky stole this thing from Ivan Lunt, who himself stole it from Microtech. You believe that Archer is probably from Microtech, and he's been sent to actually recover this thing for the corporation. And you would guess that these Kusaya guys are who Ivan was actually going to sell it to. That's kind of your guess. If you were to put it together on the surface, that's what it seems like to you.
So, it originally belonged to Microtech, stolen.
By Ivan, who worked for Ivan, who works for Microtech.
The inside guy, who's trying to sell it to another
A competitor.
and they grabbed her
Because she stole it.
because she
'Cause
stole it from Ivan,
They think she's got it.
or something.
Ivan stole it, but Vicky stole it from Ivan. So Ivan's clearly told somebody she's got it.
Well, Ivan had it. He lost it.
Well, I'm pretty
To
sure
her,
he
right?
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, to her. So they went after her. So clearly he knows that she's got it. So was it
Yes.
Ivan that sent the goons after her? Or was it the competition that
I don't
sent
think
goons?
Ivan's got goons.
Ivan has goons, but they suck.
Wow, you don't have to be that big of a goon to grab a broad and throw her in a van.
But as far as we know,
Broad? I don't know that I've heard that term for a while. This is the future.
Dame?
Sure.
But as far as we know, the competition guys, the buyers are the ones who got her. So, and my personal objective is just to get her.
I don't want to be the materialistic prick in the group, but I mean it needs to be said. Are we trying to trade straight across cube for girl, or are we trying to make some money on this as well?
I think we're
Hopefully
trying to make.
save the girl.
I think we're trying to figure out what the hell the cube is.
We don't need to know what the cube is.
I need to know what the cube is.
But reality of the situation is we don't need to know. All we need to know is who wants it, what's it worth, and can we trade it for as much as we can and get the girl back?
Okay, but here's the thing. If we just ask what it's worth, rather than knowing what it's worth, we're going to get screwed over in that deal.
I might have a guy that could help us with that.
That's good. Excellent. Excellent.
I might have a guy.
Because if
But
we don't know
first,
what it is,
first we got to get the cube to him so that this way he can take a look at it and let us know. So we're kind of caught in a catch-22.
yeah.
Can't get a job because I can't get experience. Can't get experience because I can't get a job.
So, sorry, are you saying that we have a guy who can tell us what the cube is?
I might have a guy that can help me out in that regard.
Okay, well,
Or at least be able to help me find a person that could do it for us. Question is how much or what is it going to cost us to get it? But anyway, we still got to get the cube, so it's redundant. We got a minimum, realistically, a week before Crane can talk.
was there any reason? Okay, I know that Buddy would only let us take one thing from Crane's bedside. Was there any reason why? I can't remember what his reasoning was. Why we can only.
Oh, because he didn't know us or recognize us. I think we should go back, convince him that the cube is dangerous, and that having it around him is going to be bad news, and that we should take it with us because that's better for everyone.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then I think, because Crane's last dealings with these Archer guys was not necessarily on bad terms. He was trying to eke a better deal out of them. But I think if we deal with them for the cube, they seemed, friendly enough folks.
Yeah, they're great folks.
DM is.
Was that the no? Was those
DM scribbling notes down really quickly?
the guy that told me?
Those were the guys that punched you.
The guys who punched me, were they from the?
They were Archer's dudes, and they were the guys that Crane was talking to.
They were from the buyer side.
Yes.
No, they were. He's the guy sent by Microtech to recover the object.
Oh, so he's from the guys who back.
Right. So he's basically Ivan's team.
I don't think he was part of Ivan's team. I think he's.
No, but Ivan was from Microtech, and when they realized that he effed up, they sent in the big boys.
Yeah. Anyways, first priority I think is get the cube because that's our bargaining chip.
Yes. That seems like the plan. All right, to the cube.
Did we use every exhaustible resource we could to figure out where Vicky might be? I mean, we know that.
Now that we know who have her, I mean, we probably. The problem is if we find out where she is, we either are going.
It'll be a gunfight.
We're gonna have to either like.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Okay. I've got an idea. What if we found out where Vicky was? We found out where Vicky was. We lead the guys from Microtech to think that's where their cube is. They get into the gunfight for us, and we sneak Vicky out the back door, as it were.
Oh, that's a lot of moving parts in that plan.
Okay.
A lot of guns.
You might not have gamed with me before.
So
my plan's kind of go a little like this.
That's a lot of guns that we don't have control of.
Yeah, but they're shooting at each other, and ideally not us, because we're stealthy. We're stealthy, right?
Yeah, you're mostly stealthy. Yeah, Cam's plans by nature always have a lot of moving parts. It's like, how many parts can we put in here? A lot. Perfect.
One of the first things I learned is KISS, and that's because it stands true. The more complicated you get, the first shot screws that all up.
Oh, but it's fun, though.
I'm not saying that your plan doesn't have merit, though, Cam.
I like the idea.
The more I think about it, the more I like it.
I mean, it could work, but we got to figure out what's on the cube first to see what the bargaining chip's worth.
Well,
ideally, this leaves us with Cube and Girl and no one looking for it because they all shot each other.
Don't bet on that. Someone's always going to survive.
Yeah, but you gotta admit the ceiling on this is real high.
A lot of trouble high. I say we go get the cube.
Let's get the cube first, and we can work at our playing both sides against each other afterwards.
All right. So just before you go back to get hold on. Before you go back to get the cube, I just want to confirm with you. Now you've already done a social role with him, and he was unconvinced that you were, exactly how much of Crane's interest you were working in, which is why he was prepared to surrender one object but not both, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to confirm though, like if you want to get the cube from him, you will not be able to go back and just try to persuade him again because nothing's changed necessarily. Does that make sense? Like you've already that dramatic task has already taken place.
Okay.
I have a way that we might can do this.
Does it involve violence?
No,
Okay.
but I could do violence if you want.
No,
I mean, I'm not anti-violent. It's just I have ways. I'm a face man.
Okay. Which is strange because you're the only person we don't have a camera for.
Sorry. It's coming. It's coming.
It's probably for the best.
I just find that humorous. All right, so you head back to the Black Clinic.
Yeah.
All right. It's now starting to get pretty late in the day. You guys were, if you recall correctly, you guys were at the back door sometime around 11.
Before we make a beeline straight towards there, I'd like to do a little deke dodge, kind of in one door, out another door. Because
Okay.
I don't think it would be wise to, if someone's following us, to lead
Yeah.
them directly to the...
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
So-
on the way, how hard is it to get alcohol?
You could stop and pick some up.
I'd like to get a tequila.
Okay, so so you're talking about drinking alcohol, not rubbing alcohol. Yes, no problem.
Okay.
It's easy to get the Ursat stuff, like the fake stuff. In the bazaar, you can get the corporately manufactured stuff, which is it comes in a clear plastic bottle and it's labeled gin. Right? And there's an exact same bottle that sits beside it that says whiskey. Right? Like that is the quality of the product that you guys normally afford. Okay?
I'm looking for some mezcal.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so that stuff is easy to find. It's in all of the local convenience stores, etc.
But the good stuff, though.
The good stuff is significantly harder to find and will require a wealth check. It's not something that you guys can normally afford.
I don't want the cheapest, but I definitely don't want the most expensive.
If you want something good enough to bribe somebody with, it is a wealth check.
All right, then I'll try it.
Okay, so if your wealth is D6, then what you do is you roll basically you get to roll the wild die. It still counts. So go ahead and roll. Okay, yeah, no problem. You manage to you look in your wallet. It's like, oh, hey, I happen to be a little more flush than normal, and you hand over the cryptos, those desperately valuable cryptos necessary to actually buy yourself an actual Mexican bottle of mezcal.
Bonus.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
And
worries.
do the beeline, and hopefully, if we pass near Francisco,
Okay. Gotcha.
if not, if I don't get it on the way there, I'll get them on the way back.
Well, if you guys are doing evasive in order to see whether or not you're being followed, you can absolutely make a beeline past Francisco. The ability to actually lose tails, etc., is actually a function of stealth. It's blending. So if what we'll do is we'll do a group stealth roll. How this works is we see how many successes are generated amongst the group, and then we divide them by the number of players in the group. Okay? So everybody go ahead and make stealth.
This is gonna be bad.
Are you not stealthy?
Not super stealthy, no. I'm in a
Well-
military unit.
That's
I come
okay.
in a helicopter.
I'm all right.
Cameron's stealthy enough for all of you.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So yeah, we just need to wait for Michael to come back. And yeah.
So, this is my plan when we get there. Seeing as I wasn't there to talk with the guy, I will explain to him the situation that we really need to get said item because it puts everyone's life in this area on the line. And to prove that I'm saying the truth, I will show him a picture or multiple pictures of Crane, his son, and myself to prove that, hey, I have been, and I still am, a very important person in his life. And in order to kind of save his life, I need to be able to get this cube to the people that are, how shall we say, more likely to terminate everyone to get it.
Did you bring enough for everybody, Michael? Did you bring enough for everybody, Michael?
No, it's mine.
Okay, I need you to make a stealth roll, please.
Uh,
We need you to not botch, and I think we got this.
oh. Yeah!
All right.
Seriously?
Deece.
Wow.
Yeah. So, kind of sucks to be you there,
Go away.
Kevin.
Go away. No, go get what's next.
Wow. Okay, so that's enough for 2 successes per character, even without any contributions from Jordan. Excellent. Okay.
Oh, come on, I helped.
No. Actually, I think mechanically we can actually see you didn't actually help at all. All right. Yeah, so you guys do a bunch of evasion, attempting to lose any tails. The bazaar is beginning to slow down, making it both easier and harder. First off, it's easier to spot tails, but also there's less cover for you guys to actually divert people in. This means that you spend more time sort of ducking into back alleys, coming back out, looping back on yourselves, rather than trying to blend with other crowds of people. Eventually, however, you find your way about 4 o'clock in the morning back to the Black Clinic. Okay? It is now quite late. The green sign outside of the actual clinic is actually off. As you walk in, as described before, this is an ancient building. The stairs look like that old green and white marble that they have in like the ancient office buildings. And the office appears to have been once an accounting office, but now has been cleared out and impromptu medical equipment's been set up inside. A temporary green cross lies out front. That cross is currently off. As you approach, a couple of bully boys are standing outside. These guys are, they look thuggish, okay? And they were here last time you were here as well. As you approach up the stairs, one steps forward. He's got his hands inside of a big hoodie. He's a bulky guy. You can't tell whether or not he's wearing some sort of armor underneath it, but he says, "You guys don't look hurt. Clinic's closed."
Come on, man. We just need to talk to your boss real quick.
Yeah, which boss is that?
I didn't get the doctor's name because I wasn't here.
Bomber Scummer.
What's guys? Come on, guys. What's the doc's name?
I've even said it tonight twice. So if you can remember the name, these guys will believe that you know where you're going.
Well, we're hooped.
Quick, look at rewind the stream.
Let's go to the tapes.
No, seriously. Come
Anyway?
on, guys.
I thought you were taking notes.
Well, I got all kinds of notes, but I didn't get the doctor's name because I wasn't there.
All right, his name is Dr. Ryan.
Right, he just had a normal human name.
He did have a normal human name, which meant that it was completely unrememberable.
Yeah.
Doc's not here. He's gone home for the night.
Well, we need to get in to see our friend. It's very important.
You know, there's lots of things that are important in this world. Me letting you through this door without the doc's approval, that ain't really high on my list. You can make a persuasion if you like. You have a funny feeling these guys are probably trained to, well, not trained. They're being paid that no one goes in or out when the doctor's not here. So 5. Yeah, he kind of looks level at you, and he's...
No, okay.
I don't make
I'm
the
going
rules.
to use a Benny. I'm going to use
Okay.
a Benny on this.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, okay, guys, I got to be real with you. I need to get in and see one of the patients because he's got something that we need. Because if we don't get that item to someone real quick, bad things are coming down on all of us here. So I'm trying to help you. Try and help me. Let's
Help
just
me
try and do the
help
right
you.
thing. That's right. Help me help you, right? I mean,
Right.
we're not trying to get you in trouble. You don't say nothing. I won't say nothing. Like I said, I just need to get in, get out real quick.
Well,
And I will use a Benny.
you don't have to use a Benny. That's just an action. But you will need a persuade roll.
I'll use the Benny on the persuasion roll.
Before you've even rolled the persuasion roll?
Before I even roll it. This is not an option. This has got to go.
Okay.
Everything hinges upon us getting that stupid box. So,
Let's just hope you don't botch.
okay. D6.
Roll it.
See?
Okay, so you spent your Benny, so you can go ahead and,
Roll it again.
and roll again.
Woo!
That's better.
There you go. All right, so the two of them kind of look at each other.
Come on, guys. No one's going to know.
Okay.
Next time I come through, maybe I'll have something for you guys.
Oh, it's offering stuff.
Okay, so that's a raise. They go from being unfriendly and unhelpful to, tell you what, give me the patient's name, give me what you're looking for,
Oh, that's not good. I say we just break.
and I'll have it brought it out for you.
Well, I say we break in the back door and sneak in.
There isn't a back door.
No, at this point, I mean, not
The guy
everybody-
looks at you as like, you don't plan things like that in front of us,
Oh, What?
Seeing as I wasn't here, out of character,
Yep.
did we mark him in as Crane? Did you guys mark him in? Because I wasn't here. So
No. The doctor knows him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess these guys will be. They're being paid by the doctor. It's like Crane.
I'm just going to be straight up honest with them.
Yeah.
The guy's name's Crane. I know he's friends with the doc. He's in a medically induced coma right now. That's why our problems are now your problems. And they're growing, I do believe, a pancreas or something for him. So, like I
And
said,
it's like a 2x2 metal.
I don't lie. I'm straight up with them. Tell them the whole thing.
All right.
I suggest that. Sure, you can accompany us in there so you can see that we don't take anything we're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not going in. Tell me what you're looking
I
for.
go with you.
No. Tell me
All
what
right.
you're looking for.
I tell them what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Now, is this?
We
stuff
know
in
it's there. We know it's there because the doc had it the other day.
Yeah, but
Had it today.
his stuff is in a locker, right? I'm
Yep.
assuming. And this locker is locked. Can these thugs actually get into the locked lockers?
You don't know?
There's security. Why wouldn't they?
Can we just ask them to generally just give us everything that's in this locker?
Well, that might be pushing our luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
All
be
right.
greedy. Let's just be, succinct.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm about to draw a card to tell you exactly how successful. You've convinced them to summon their third guy who's inside to bring out whatever it is you're looking for. Okay?
The third guy.
So what I'm going to do is, yeah, dudes. The medicine's expensive. So's medical equipment.
I'll use a Benny if I have to on
Yeah,
this.
okay, so hold on. So the way we do this is I draw a card. I'll produce the card. I'm going to have you guys guess a card. The closer you are to the card.
Oh, I'm
the
using
mo-
a Benny.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to decide what the card is. As a group,
Okay.
what's the card?
Do we all have to pick the same card? Do we have to come to a consensus?
It's a consensus.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
I said
think-
Jack.
yeah, Jack of Diamonds.
I'm not going to be that
let's
specific.
have a suit.
Yes. Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah, we're picking a card. We're not picking a card. Ooh.
We are so close.
Once I was the
It's like
king of
right
Spain.
there. It's like right there.
I mean, it's
I said
royalty.
Jack. I didn't say suit.
Okay. Yeah. So he steps back, right? And you see him speak into his hailer to somebody somewhere close. Yeah, there's a patient in there, Crane. There's some guys out here looking for something he has. Yeah. Okay. Don't fucking give me any backlip. Okay. Just yeah. It's a cube.
Yeah.
It's blue and silver in color. You just bring it out. Okay, you guys wait for a bit. He says, "Yeah, he says it ain't there.
What?
I'm sorry.
Do you know if someone
He
else has been here?
says it ain't there."
How long ago did we see Crane?
8 hours, quite a while now.
Can we ask?
Oh no. So about yeah, okay. So it's actually later. It's probably about 6 in the morning. So yeah, you saw him around midnight.
Do you know if anyone else has been here to see Mr. Crane?
Do I look like a secretary to you?
Come on.
Well, now that
Like
you
I
mentioned,
said, I straight up with him, guys. This
Yeah.
is not just kidding here. This is dead ass serious.
Okay.
We need to get this item because, like I said, there's bigger
He-
players in this thing
He
going on.
he
and they're
takes up
bringing
his
the-
two. He brings up his two very meaty hands, and he says, "Okay, I'm just gonna be totally real with you. We work the door at nighttime when the doctors are gone. We don't drink together. We don't eat together. We don't sleep together. We work the door."
I get it.
All right. I have an idea.
Does it involve violence?
I mean, it's largely the same as the idea I produced before, just we don't have the cube yet, so it doesn't actually matter if they shoot at each other looking for the cube because it's not there anyways.
Okay.
Out of
I'm afraid.
Okay.
all right. Can we talk to each other in our head?
Well, you're not telepathic.
Just-
Well, no, with our phone, with our, because we can tell our guys.
Yes. So you can actually use your Geist to actually not to speak together, but to actually like message one another.
So I'm going to relay a message to the other two saying, I think the doc took it. I think
That
we need to
seems-
find the doc now.
Possible.
That seems probable. I think we check in with the doc tomorrow. If he's gone, then we go looking for him. If he's not and he's there, then we know where the cube is. But while we're waiting on that, I say we drop a hint that the cube is somewhere else just to throw people off the trail in case someone decides they wanted to go looking for the doc and steal the cube. We help him out and help us out that way, and it leads into my glorious firefight with a bunch of people we don't like shooting at each other.
Well, I'll let you do that. My question to the guards, though, is about what time is the doc supposed to be back?
He'll be back this morning. Yeah, again, not secretaries. Right. It's a black clinic, right? It's not like it's a he has to be opened by government order at a certain time.
Best guess, man. Best
It was-
guess.
it was
This morning.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, so I don't know,
Is there-
4 or 5
is
hours
there-
maybe.
Is there a
noon for
nearby coffee shop we can take?
So- Actually, at this point, I need you guys to make vigor checks, please, because
Oh,
you've been pretty much going for the past.
I gotta chug some energy drink.
Okay, that's a 5.
Yeah, you were chugging some energy drink.
All right. All right. For those of you who
Great.
got a raise, you're actually feeling not too bad. You know, you got a little bit of adrenaline pumping through your bodies. For those of you who made it successfully, you do take a level of fatigue. You guys are tired. You've been up all night. You can alleviate that fatigue with a stim. Stims come with a couple of penalties. First off, when the stim wears off, you get back not only the fatigue level that it erased, but also a bonus one on top of that. And we'll also make a vigor check for repeated stim use, which causes addiction. Or you can get some sleep. Your choice.
I can quit anytime.
I know you can, Michael.
Sleep is for scrubs and casuals.
Well, the doc's going to be back later this morning, so I mean, we can go get a cat nap, right?
Yep, absolutely. Get some rack time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could leave. We could leave Kevin's character here to watch for the doc, and we can go have a nap.
Just like dual fisting monsters.
Okay.
As we go to walk away, I go, as a professional courtesy, could you guys let me know if someone's come in and inquired about Crane?
Nope.
He's kind of really important to me, and I'd really like to know if something's going to happen.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So they, what we're going to do is we're going to wind it forward till about 10 a.m. or so. That's a good place to start. It's 10 a.m. the next morning. You guys basically know what you want for actions. If there's anything you want to discuss, you can feel free to do that between games if you have any extra plans. And then, so we'll pick it up from there for the next game. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been a very brief Crane Dossiers game, which is our Savage Worlds Cyberpunk game. Thank you all for joining us. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you like and subscribe it. Welcome to Kevin. It's been great having you on board. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And, we will talk to you next time.